Jamie.
We are... Oh, I kind of forgot what we were doing until I looked down. I was like, what are we doing? That's how much my brain's working. We're finally doing Goldfinch.
Yay!
Yes.
And tears.
And this is sort of a brand new experience. Well, not sort of. It is a brand new experience for us because we are not reading the whole book before we talk about it. So we genuinely don't know what happens after the pages that we're reading today, because we're only reading up to chapter 19. I think it was going to be a lot harder to do, and I think it was okay.
Yeah.
I could stop myself. I thought it was going to be like an animal, and then read past it and then try and have to hide it from you or something, but I was okay.
I thought it was also going to be like that, but then when we were allowed to start it, I was like, I read like the first page, then I stopped because I was so upset. Because I was like, oh, like this is going to be like the last time I read this story for the first time. And I literally wrote down, just struggling to start and really like just taking in every sentence. I don't think I've ever read like a book like this where I've actually just...
This is the end.
Yes. But I can't wait to see how it comes together. I just want them to be reunited.
Imagine they weren't and it was just like a devastating ending.
No, because I've heard good things. Like, I haven't seen any spoilers, but everyone...
I'm just joking. I don't think she's going to let us down in any way.
No, not at all. She's already off to a great start, so...
Yeah. Okay. Oh, we're going to do a little bit of a reading update. I feel like we haven't done that in a while. You gave us our, TV show to watch because you couldn't hold it to let it out.
Yeah.
But I don't think we've talked about sort of like what we've been reading other than the autobiography sort of segment.
Well, I've really been slacking on the reading. If anyone has seen our September reel, September was my worst month, and so I've failed horribly.
Well, don't say that.
Well, it was just like I normally get more books in, but I got like nothing in, which I mean it happens and it's fine. But
well, I don't know if you've heard the other episodes, but we've been busy.
Yes, also that. If we did not mention that 5 times.
Okay, well, tell us about the Midnight Library.
Oh, right, I forgot.
I know what you've read.
Yeah. It was a nice, quick read. I really liked the beginning. I liked the concept of it. But then it kind of just, near the end, it got really, like, self-helpy. Which, I mean, is also great. Like, it had a lot of great messages in it. But I think I just kind of wanted a bit more from it.
I think that's how Matt Haig is.
Oh, okay. Like, I used to love, like, Tuesdays with Morrie. I think I've actually read 30 times.
Really?
That's one of my favorite books. Well, I haven't read it probably like 10 years at this point. But then I read like a lot of his books and they were like that and I enjoyed it. I think maybe I didn't know that about his books going in.
Well, I'm just taking a guess. But
yeah.
The only Matt Haig book I kind of like skip some. I have to go back to it. But is Reasons to Stay Alive, which is more of his autobiography and his depression. So it's not fictional.
Okay. This one did it was pretty much, this at the beginning, like, so she attempts suicide.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, like, in her world, it didn't, because she's in, like, an in-between type of thing, but ends up in this library, and there's, like, a librarian from her youth there, which is obviously not actually her, but she's able to look at these books and kind of be like, if I would have made this decision instead in my life, this is how it would have... So she's kind of exploring all these different versions of herself, which was really cool, and I did like it. So for the most part, I really enjoyed it. But I just felt, kind of near the end, I wanted, I don't know.
Something different.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, still good. And then I'm also currently reading A Sweet Sting of Salt. And I'm enjoying that. It's like a slower kind of read. Canadian. Shout out Halifax.
A love story between women.
Yes, it's my first...
A lesbian love story.
Yes, it is my first lesbian love story. Yeah, it's off to a good start. Well, I'm halfway through at this point, but I'm enjoying it. Makes me want to move out to the country and live off the land. There's folklore and that tied into it. And I guess it's kind of almost a retelling, but I'm not sure which one yet.
Cool.
Which one will you update with us?
I don't know.
You have so many.
I was going to say, too, the Midnight Library one, that's the one that I bought for our brother. Because at Christmas time, we do a sibling book exchange. Mm-hmm. And so I gave him that at one point. I wonder if he read it.
I think he said he did, because I think I was... Because I was talking about going to start it, and I can't remember what he said about it.
Is that what we should do? It was just hound the other person. Have you read it yet? Have you read it yet?
Yeah. Well, he gave me what was it, Outlive. So it's...
Is that like the cookbook one?
No, it's like a nonfiction about... Oh, God, I need to look up Humbu. Me and him had talked about... I heard this guy on a podcast. It was super interesting. So that's why he got it. It's Outlive, the science and art of longevity. It's about, like, living longer, all these kind of studies. And then the doctor was super interesting with the podcast, but it's a hard read.
It's a hard, yeah.
That's a very
not
hard
a fun read.
Yeah.
Here's how to be better.
So it has not been read.
I read one of yours, but I haven't read the other one yet because you got me 2, which is against the rules, but you did it anyway.
I had really hard time deciding. What was the other one I got you?
You got me Red Rising, which I read.
Right, yes.
And you got me the Addie LaRue book, which I still have to read. But for September, I read the second book in the Cruel Prince series, so it's called Wicked Kings.
Right, yes.
And I feel like I've been torturing myself with some series lately, and because I know that I'm supposed to like it, and it's just like okay for me.
Yeah.
There's like parts of it that I don't necessarily love. Like at the beginning, there's sort of like this bully type trope, and I've just noticed within myself that I really don't like that trope, which we talked about in a previous episode about tropes. It's not for me. So I think that part of it kind of bothered me, but there's parts of the books that I like. So like I keep going, but it also irritates me the whole time. And then at the end of it, I was like, no, absolutely not. But maybe I'll read the third one day when I'm bored, even though I know that I'm not going to like it. And then I'm like, what is wrong with me?
I couldn't not, though, continue because I would be like, I would need to know what happened.
I know. And then I'm just like, well, just finish the story. Come on.
Yeah.
So maybe one day I'll do it. And I kind of feel the same way about the other series that I had. So The Trial of the Sun Queen.
Oh, I was excited about that one.
So I read the first 3 books, and then the 4th one I think comes out in November, maybe?
Okay.
Yeah, October, maybe November. But I really enjoyed the first one, The Trial of the Sun Queen.
Yes, I remember you saying that.
And it was just like, okay, it's like a simpler romantasy. It's not too deep. The story isn't like, it's not the most amazing world building or magical system, whatever. But I was just like, yeah, this is enjoyable. It's a classic romantasy.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm on board. And then it's just like, okay. It's very, very predictable, which I'm okay with.
I'm totally okay with.
Like, there's going to be no surprises. Even at the end of the third one, there's like a big cliffhanger, and I'm like, it's not a cliffhanger because these books have been so predictable that I know what's going to.
Yeah.
If you think it's a cliff, it's not.
You know who does good cliffhangers?
Raven Kennedy.
That's right.
Yeah. So those series were okay for me, but like I said, like to each their own, because I also have seen many people are like, yeah, I love those series. So it's like, that was just my experience. So I'm not really, I'm not really sure what I'm going to move on to, but right now I started the audiobooks of what's it called? The Zodiac Academy, which...
Oh my God, right, I saw that.
There's a million books in, which I feel is like, it's really living up to what I've seen from other people, which is like, yeah, it can be cringy at times, the writing is not good, but you'll kind of get hooked.
Yeah.
And so I definitely see that. So I'm like, I'm just trying to give it a chance. It almost feels so far like I'm like watching a CW show. Where you're like, you know,
I've also
bad,
heard that people say the similar thing. Oh, maybe I'll do those on audio.
So I'm going to read the first one and give it a chance.
Yeah. I know a lot of people say like the first few are super good, and then I think once it gets to like the 6th,
then it's just like a CW show that went on too long.
Yeah. Which I think I've read that exact sentence, but everyone's like, but you have to read it.
But do it anyway.
Yeah.
Okay, well, we'll see if I get hooked. I'll keep you all updated.
Oh, and there's lots of merch on that one, so that's always fun. Yeah. Okay, well, yeah, keep us
And
updated.
if you like, what do you call it? Zodiac signs and...
Oh, yeah, I never actually even thought about what it would be about.
You didn't include that, yeah.
No, I don't know why.
Because the main characters are twins, so they're Gemini, and like the whole academy, everyone has like...
Oh!
Like the sign thing is part of it.
Okay, I think I'd actually enjoy that.
All right. Well, before the drink gets warm, tell us what you made.
So, today our drink is called Yellowbell.
Which I love.
Right? And it is yellow.
As it should be. We got the color right this time.
Yes.
It didn't turn pink somehow, which has happened many times.
It has.
Accidentally.
It's actually known as a yellow bird cocktail, which I thought was also kind of fun. Yeah, so obviously it's for Rissa. I think she deserves one.
Yeah.
Right? We haven't done one for her yet. And
Her segment is my favorite part in this first order of the book that we're reading.
Same. So I was like, hey, that's a perfect... I went back and forth with, like, Slade, because, like, his heart and dragon stuff, but I'm like, nah, I gotta go somewhere different. So, in this, Yellowbird... Oh, my God. Right? No. Yellowbell. Yellowbell cocktail. It is white rum, Galliano liqueur, triple sec, fresh lime juice. It was not fresh. It was from bottle.
Jamie, we have lemons. Oh, did you say lime?
Lime.
Oh, no, we did not. We didn't have limes.
Yeah, I thought the same thing.
Yeah.
And then I was like, oh, I have lemons.
Yeah.
And then I was looking, I was like, and it's lime. So I'm like, oh, I have lime
right.
juice. So.
And that liqueur is like a vanilla liqueur, right?
Yes.
Because I was looking at it. The bottle looked cool.
I know, right? And there was only like one left at the liquor store, so.
Well, that sounds like a cool combo.
Right? It was interesting. So yeah, let's give it a try.
Cheers. Mmm.
Oh.
That's really good.
Oh my God, I don't hate it.
No.
It's been a while since I haven't hated one night.
Wow, what a cool combo. The lemon and vanilla.
Yeah.
Or, I mean the lime and vanilla. And rum. Strange. Strange, but it works.
Yeah. It's a little bit acidic.
I like acidic. It's pretty good.
Oh, I'm so excited that it wasn't awful. Okay.
I would recommend this one.
Yeah.
And you know what? Don't try and do anything fancy like...
Well, it recommends it for happy hour, girls' night. You put it in like a little martini glass.
Yeah, or like alone on your porch like I do.
Well, it's a good, like, it's just a little portion of it. It's a good, I feel like a sipper. Mm-hmm. Well, I mean, every drink should be a sipping drink. Don't chug your drink, but... Okay, I realized I don't think we've been even rating our drinks.
I know, I think we forgot to last time.
I was in bed, I think, the last time after we left, I was like, oh my God, we didn't rate it.
You wake up from your dream. No, we forgot to rate the drink. Well, you know what? It doesn't really matter because at the end of all of this, when we finally finish Goldfinch, we are going to do a cocktail countdown for it. So
yeah, we'll just...
They'll know.
Yeah.
But at least for this one, I think I'll give it a 7.7.
Well, I was going to do 7.5.
Okay. Which is pretty good for what's been going on so far.
Yeah, it hasn't been I've had a really bad streak.
Well, both of us.
Yeah, actually.
We've been between a 4 and a 6, maybe a 7 if we've done really well.
Well, and I was also like, I'm like, I just need to keep it simple. I feel like we've been also going a bit crazy.
Yeah.
Making things really complicated.
Yes.
There was another one I was looking at, and it was really complicated, and I'm like, no, I'm going with this one.
Just stop it.
Stop. I was like, it's still like different, like with stuff we haven't tried, but it's not too much.
Okay. Good job, Jamie.
Yay.
We're off on a good foot with Goldfinch.
Woo.
Oh, I wanted to add too, but I was thinking about it the other day looking at my window. Because I have a tree in my big window, but I remember at one point a while ago, there was a bunch of goldfinches in my tree. Oh. And I took a picture of it and I sent it to you. And that was like abnormal for me because Eddie's always the one that's like, oh, there's that bird. Do you know what that bird is called? And then that bird is telling me all about the nature and knows all the different birds. Special man. So like me taking a picture of the birds was abnormal. I'm just like, oh, I'm sending Jamie the picture of the goldfinches. And then I waited. He didn't ask a follow-up. So then I proceeded to tell him.
Why?
Because the books that we like, he calls her Goldfinch. And the new book that's going to come out is called Goldfinch. And then he just...
Oh, he did get really excited about it?
No, absolutely not.
Actually,
that was the end of it. Again, no follow-up questions.
Did you actually send me that?
I did. It was a long time ago.
Oh, okay.
I think it was before we started talking about
okay.
Playing Prisoner.
Okay, I feel like I kind of remember that now.
Okay, let's get into the book. If there is ever a choice between her or the world, it's going to be her.
One king caged my body.
Another has caged my mind.
War has broken out, though that's not the only battle being waged.
There's a fight inside me. It's one I'm determined to win, no matter how hard they try to erase me.
Because they've forgotten one thing, the ancient magic of the pair bond.
Slade and I are connected by more than just fated magic, and we will always find each other.
In any life.
This Stone King is trying to destroy me, but what he hasn't realized is this. Gold bends, but stone breaks.
And a goldfinch does not fall.
It flies.
Yeah. Sure does.
Once again, great description.
Yep.
So what is our last and final message from Raven Kennedy here at the start of this book?
So sad. Remember, you are stronger than the dark, and you have the wings to fly. Makes me want to cry.
Which is that's a theme, obviously, even in the first quarter of this book, is Auren being in darkness and trying to see the light.
Yeah.
And then we get the next page, which is a new sort of map, and it has a quote from Glint that says, "Life takes you on paths you don't have a map for," which is could either be anxiety provoking for our anxiety folks, or it can be comforting. You don't know what's gonna happen, so
just see what happens. Don't stress.
Or you can't know. You just do your best, right? There's no right way. There's no perfect paths. You just, you figure it out, guys.
Or you panic.
And then we get a little picture of Glassworth Palace and Cawville Castle. I don't know if we'll learn more about that, because I didn't know that was the name.
Same.
In Seventh Kingdom. Yeah.
I don't think I still did.
Do you want to start with Slade then? That's who I had first, just because the
book
he
starts the book.
Him.
Okay, also it starts it out just like his conversation with Lou and how she just got back from Highbell like 5 hours ago. I'm like, it seems like it's been 500 years, not 5 hours.
Right, because
like Reader's World.
Yeah.
So it's just
we're still here. We're still here.
So that's okay. It's only been 5 hours for you guys.
Reorient myself to the end of the last book, because even the last book I was looking like what his last scene was, and it was not near the end. Like his scene sort of ended because we had a bunch of Auren and I think Malina near the end. So it does feel like it's been a million years since we've seen what.
Yes, that's when it said 5 hours. I was like, 5 hours.
And I was thinking too, we don't get much of Lou. We didn't get much of her in the last book, but I know that we probably won't get a ton of her in this book, maybe, and that makes me sad, but I understand.
Yeah, I hope we do. Maybe she'll do just a spin-off of Lou. I don't think it's gonna happen.
I don't know. I doubt it.
Or if you could just put out, like, you know how they do, like, cut scenes?
Extra chapter?
Yeah, can you just give us some Lou stuff?
That'd be cool.
Right? Raven, if you're listening.
Yes. But we're reminded that, or Slade is thinking, oh my god, the bridge is connected. And his father is the one that did it, and he thinks, is he still alive? Yes, Slade, he is still alive.
To answer your question.
So I'm really looking forward to the scene where he confronts his father. That is something to look forward to, but obviously he doesn't know that yet. And yeah, we quickly get into, I need to get back to Auren, right? Because that's where we left off from him.
He's just like, go, 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 go. He's also, his body's just falling apart.
It really is.
But he does, like, kind of say to Riot that he's gonna help first before he goes.
Yes.
They have a really lovely exchange, and it made my heart really happy. Just to kind of see them almost come to that. With, like, the two of them, I think just, like, in a really good place, and how he's like, I should have given him this opportunity, and, like, he sees that he's really happy, and I think their relationship has become more, like, a good, like, level. Like, it's not just, like, a take and take or a give and a give.
He's seeing him as his equal now, where I think he was treating him like his little brother, right?
Yeah.
And then he's also seeing, I think, that Riot is not just this, like, difficult little boy. He's now saying, oh, wait, because Riot is showing now a lot more kindness and consideration, but which is like, okay, well. And
he was also, like, there for him and took care of him when he needed it.
If you just show someone a little bit of that, then maybe you'll get it back, and that's what's happening. Riot is I love him.
Yeah.
I've really changed my tune on him.
Right? And then he does say, I'll protect Forth with my life, and Slade thinks that's what I'm afraid of. And I said, if Riot dies, I riot. I am going to be so upset.
I know, it can't happen. It can't.
Right?
That would be no.
Right?
No,
No,
let's not think
absolutely
about
not.
it.
Okay, just gonna take that back up. I'm taking it back.
Okay, let's talk about his.
Oh, I like you had emotional bro moment.
It is an emotional bro moment, and it was very broy because they wouldn't get into actual emotional stuff because they're like, oh, we can't. This isn't the time, and we can't let our emotions go. So they kind of like
war.
Suck it up, right? Okay, his body starts to break down.
Yes. Okay, and also I'm just like, everybody's seeing what's happening with his body, and it's like his heart.
Mm-hmm.
That clearly he does need to get back to Auren,
mm-hmm.
even when the little girl says, like, I can't hear that. And they're still, I get why they're like, you have to help us and, like, protect us. But I'd also be like, please go and fix that. It looks disgusting.
Right, but then it's also like, you're the one with the super magic. So, like, everyone's going to die if you don't help us a little bit.
Which I do also get, but...
Okay, and then we get the part where he thinks he's dying, but then actually their mating bond happens, so we get his perspective. We already got Auren's perspective of that happening, but now we see his side.
His side sounds a lot worse.
It does sound a lot worse.
Like, hers was just like, oh!
Okay, ready? I gasp.
I gasp.
I can scent her.
Breathe.
Her warmth that consumes me.
The air of Anwin, the air of Araya.
My knees buckle.
I pitch backwards.
My rotting heart suddenly swells, bursts.
The beast and the siege surge, combine.
Something shifts. My two sides, they mend.
My back heats, rot delves, not with death, but rebirth.
Something else tears free.
Life tears free.
Scales erupt over my chest, bursting from what I thought was my dying heart.
Two souls reach out, clasp. My ears echo with two heartbeats.
A roar sounds in my ear, souls tether.
With a bonded song.
My aura pulses, changes.
My aura flares, changes.
I can feel her.
I can feel him.
Beautiful.
It was really beautiful, I think.
So he realizes it's the
bond fusing.
Payer bond.
Payer bond.
Their auras mixing. The payer magic ripples within me like someone shoveling up my entire foundation and packing it in with Auren's essence. Our souls are now bound together, our lives forever connected, our magic entwined. It means that she and I are a match fated by the goddesses. It means that we have been given the greatest gift ever bestowed on a fae. It means she's mine.
That's what he always wanted.
But that's kind of cool. I guess we that they're both going to have each other's magic, which is kind of already happening with Auren's gold, but I think that's what's happening.
Yes. So I also assume that is what is happening. I thought they were already so much connected, and now it's just, like, even more. Yeah. But I am also curious, this has to do with Auren, but kind of this, when his dad asks her a question about, like, referring to that, and she, like, scratches the back of her neck, because there's, like, something, and I'm like, what's at the back of her neck? Like, is it, like, a scab thing, like, that he has? But obviously, like, her mind's not fully functional, so I'm just super curious. Because she said the back of her neck. So not like her back, like ribbons or anything, but like the back of her neck. And he says something that he's like, oh, that proves my...
Oh.
So
I don't know.
Yeah. So just, keep an eye out for...
I was about to say maybe it's her ribbons coming back to life, but that would not...
No. And she says like the back of her neck. And it's something like a scab or so. And just how it talks about like his disgusting part where he picks off the scabs. Okay. But also sounds so great at the same time.
It is disgusting, and so I wrote down some really disgusting parts for us all to reminisce about, which is he's itching away his brown, sickly skin like molded bits of bread being ripped off.
But doesn't that just sound so, like...
satisfying?
Yeah. Like, when you get a sunburn, and then
you gotta peel off the skin.
But it's like, gross, but also really satisfying.
His veins are slithering like serpents racing away. What?
Okay, and also, like, he has a gold-scaled chest. Like, I want to see his new look. I'm really excited for the fan art for this.
He just looks outrageously scary in my head.
Still hot.
Yes, but super cool.
Yeah. But yeah, so it's not just Rip and Ravager. It's just one...
He's just one guy.
Yeah,
he's just a regular guy.
Just a regular old fae.
And he gets a dragon, which is like so unexpected. I did not see this coming when I was reading this. I was like, what the fuck?
Yeah, I know. I was like, what? The dragon?
It's a dragon. He passes out. This whole chapter was like, whoa.
Yeah, I was like, what is happening? I was for sure thought you were like dying. I was so confused. I'm like, how is this going to turn around? Because I know you're not dying.
Yeah, yeah.
But did not, yeah.
Didn't see the dragon coming.
No, I thought, I was like, oh, you're going to get to Auren and like you're going to heal. That's,
Yeah.
so,
Took a turn.
yeah.
But then, luckily, we do get an explanation with his memory dream kind of thing with his father. And so we know that he is not confused so much about the dragon. We are confused.
Yes.
He is not. Because it is a cull trait.
Yes, it's in their line.
Yeah, to have dragons and scales and spikes, which is, which his father wanted him to have. So,
Because I guess it had been like skipping, like it hadn't been as strong in the line.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking that's why he also wants to see him so badly.
To see if he has a dragon.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Because he
Maybe
does end up being like, tells the king not to kill Auren.
Oh,
because he's being protective, but I think, right? But I think it's because
I thought that too, because I was like, what?
He's helping her at this point, like, so that she doesn't die.
I know, but yeah, exactly. Why do you?
And then I was like, okay, like, you're
That's
selfish, so
that is a good prediction.
Yeah, so I think it has to do something with that.
You're so smart.
Thank you.
He says, my father's wrong. I'm not a call. I never want to be. I'm my mother's son. I'm a Ravenger.
Yes, you are.
And then when an adult Rip is thinking, he saw the scales on my face and the spikes on my arms, and he was waiting for something else to burst out. Only it never did, and he never fucking forgave me for it. So yeah.
Yeah, right?
He just wants that dragon. But why do you want that dragon so bad?
You know, it's like some men are like, oh, I have to have a child for my line to go on. Like, it's...
He's going to give himself credit for it.
100%, yeah. This is
somehow
nice.
It's going to be his making.
Yeah, because that's still his, like, seed. So he'll be so proud and...
Ugh.
Yeah. I mean, I'm
when
guessing.
they have their final showdown, that's going to be epic.
Oh, God, yes. Just side note, poor Argo. How stressed out do you think he is during all this stuff? And he's carrying him, and he's, like, falling off, but then he brings him to, like, a cave to try and, like, protect him. Tries to give him a rabbit or something. I was, like, just good job, Argo. This whole part, I felt so bad for him. He's probably like, what the fuck? Now you have a dragon with you.
Let's go to Malina. We're going to have Sema Slade in there.
I just mentioned my first note.
Mm-hmm.
You grow, girl. She's growing, you know? She's recognizing her mistakes, how she didn't want to see the truths. I like it. So sometimes I think
you need to get that on a t-shirt and put a plant under it. Add it to our list. Add it to our list of t-shirt ideas because we do have a long list.
Yes, we do. You grow, girl, and then Malina has a plant.
And several other ideas that Sarah J. Maas will never approve.
No, I know. It's really sad. Anyways.
So we get Malina, and she does the escape from the woods, and she's trying to save her people still, and they come across Faye, which is when, Slade comes down and saves them. What's that? Pruin. Okay. I was really disappointed that we didn't get the Lord Pruin and Malina. Like, I wanted her to kill him.
Same. I was also
disappointed.
A little bit, I was like, oh, she'll get, like, the last shot in or something. She did have a good little part.
Yes.
When he did die.
Yeah, what did she say again?
Oh, so, like, she's watching him die, and she looks at him. I'm watching. I hiss. A second later, he falls dead at my feet. Because he was trying to force her to watch her people die.
Yeah. So, okay. And then we get a little bit of Slade mass murder with his dragon. I'm curious as to what's going to happen to the land afterwards.
Right?
Well, because if you think of the fourth, a lot of the land is rotted and unusable. So now he's just done that with Highbell. Like, is that going to go... Is he going to unrot later? Like, what's going to happen to the land? Or maybe I'm just thinking too hard into it and we're never going to come back to it and it doesn't really matter. But that's what I was thinking. I was like, oh no, the land.
I feel like they'll figure it out. I'm not too.
We'll see, or we won't.
Yeah, I don't know.
We won't.
But I do just like at one part, he's like, who am I? I jump off Argo's back, and the second my boots touch the snow, my magic surges out. The Fae have a moment to gasp, to curse, to shout, but then I let my rot free. Let it rain, and it rules with pure tyranny, showing them exactly who I am. So hot.
Yeah, it was a sight to see, a sight to read.
No, right? It's like, you murder all of them. I
I know,
love
I've
it.
never rooted for
So much murder.
Yeah, exactly. So hard.
Right?
And then Miss dies, which is all I wrote.
Oh, that's all you have?
What's there to say?
He goes to her Auren's cage.
Oh, no, I have that part. I just
Oh.
mean about Mist. All I wrote for Mist was Mist dies.
Yeah, Miss death.
And it is very, very sad.
It's super sad what happens to her and the baby, and still, like, just at the end, how she's very much like, you'll tell him, like, it was sad.
Sad ending for Mist. And then...
I mean, I didn't see it really going any better for her, to be fair.
No, we knew it was going to end really badly.
Yeah.
From the clues we have gotten and,
Yeah.
misloyalty to Midas.
I mean, at least she had someone there with her when she went, which was nice.
And then we get Malina going up to the cage with Slade.
Yes.
Obviously, Malina has sort of realized that Slade is in love with Auren because of, even in the beginning when he interacted with her, he went straight to, like, how she's treated Auren.
That was pretty much like, because
and Malina was a little confused for a second, but then sort of got on board. Oh, okay.
She bowed to him right away.
What's that?
Good on her. She bowed to him right away, like when he landed. Like, I think, and it was like showed him like he was confused because that's not the person he was expecting. And she was like being very thankful.
Slade is very confused.
Yes.
He's like, who is this woman?
Yeah, it's not at all like probably what Auren described her as, or what he's just heard about her.
Well, and just what she did to Auren, right?
Yes.
How complicit she was in what
And then
Midas
she's
did.
putting herself in front of all her people, like refusing to, because Pruin just wanted to take her to the king. And she said absolutely not, and like protecting. And yeah, so obviously he's just seeing like, okay, you're a completely different person than what I expected.
That doesn't mean that he forgives her.
No.
But they go up to the cage, and it's just really sad Slade seeing how she had lived, and then Malina, even though she had some realization at other moments, this was like a very real realization that was in front of her face.
She even says, like, I was looking at it through his eyes.
Mm-hmm.
And then just one part I have, when he comes back, he stops and stares at the soul window. She couldn't even have a proper lookout since the glass is iced over. Something I used to cruelly relish. My stomach twists in a way that feels like an awful lot like remorse. I also just like that he doesn't even say anything to her. I was like, that's even worse.
I know.
Just the way he looks at her, and she's like, she totally doesn't need him to, because she's saying everything to herself. And she gets it. And she's just kind of like, I'm sorry, and that's totally expecting to die.
She also thinks she was inside it for years. No wonder she killed Tyndall if what Queen Kayla told me is true. We were both trapped in here by King Midas, though in very different ways. Both blinded, her by love and me by hate. I think I see things now because I finally started to look. Which is a relatable thing, right?
I think with a lot of that... Well, even she, like, with seeing the shanties and things, like, it was just... She ignored a lot and didn't want to look at certain things, so she just looked away. Or there was, I think it was the part where she's like, oh, the Fae have been through here already, like, into the shanties, and they're like, no, this is what it looks like.
Yeah, that was bad.
And I was like, ooh, that's awkward.
Melina.
Like, no, this is just our home, and what our home looks like. Nobody's rated it.
So, in the end, she's deciding to go to the Seventh Kingdom, where Slade is going. You know, I'm coming with you. So her and Dominic...
And he agrees. Well, he says, get your own way there, but you can come with me.
Yeah, and I'm leaving, and I'm not waiting for you.
Yeah, but you can still come with me. And I'm like, what a trio.
That is such a trio.
The 3 new BFFs.
Oh, obviously not. So that'll be interesting.
Like the 3 best friends, and make them a little theme song, and...
what I think I'll throw in Riot here, just because I think that's more connected with Slade. We learned that Randfold is lost.
Oh my god, right.
So the Fifth Kingdom, they didn't even make it there in time, and that's the message that Lou brought back. Oh no, is that the message that Lou brought back?
No, Lou brought back just that the Fae hadn't gotten into Highbell, and...
Well, anyway, we learned that it's gone, so there's no point in going there, which they had all been prepping for.
Yeah.
Because Slade was supposed to go to Fifth Kingdom, but
he woke
up in Sixth.
Yeah, because Argo was trying to get him to Auren.
So it's lost. There's no point in moving everybody, which tells us that they're all going to stay in fourth and protect it.
Yeah.
So my prediction is that we're getting the giant war scene in the fourth.
Same.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let's get to Risa. This is the best scene in the book. And this is the first time we're getting her POV, right?
Yes.
Usually it's Osric, but we're getting... Oh, sorry.
And I just want to, because we're going to shout out Osric a lot.
Duh.
But one part, this happened kind of at the beginning, when Slade was leaving and the girls that had come, the one that, I think Winnie, that had healed Argo and stuff. And then we find out that Osric had bought them a house, but didn't want them to know who did it. And he's something like, oh, of course he wouldn't. Like, that's so him. I'm like, oh, Osric, stop it.
Oh my god, somebody does something good but doesn't have to tell everybody about it?
But nobody tell anyone. Like, I don't want it. I just want them to have it, and I don't need the recognition.
So
okay,
Risa,
you do have the one that I wanted.
It's right after Risa's recovered. Like, it's the same day. So we're back in the same place, which is, again, hard
right,
to
I guess it is the
orient
same day. I
yourself
never even... Yeah.
But she's just been healed, basically, but she's in a room in the castle, and she doesn't really know how to deal with her feelings for Osric. Like, she keeps having these feelings when he walks in the room. She's like, what is this? I'm confused. What happened while I was sleeping?
Well, and she says, like, she, like, woke... Or wait, did you have that part? But no, how she, like, woke up, and he was just, like, hugging her.
Yeah.
And, like, in her hair, and she's just like...
And yeah.
But she did say, she's like, I right away felt safe, which I've never felt before.
Yeah. Okay. Don't you knock?
No.
Great divine, have you always stepped that loudly?
I'm walking normal.
You practically stampeded.
Just their whole back and forth. Any time, I just laugh. I was like, I could just highlight this whole chapter.
Can I read my favorite quote? Because this is like, oh!
That's also my favorite quote. That's the one I was looking at.
Oh, okay. He looks masculine and broody, as if he's just finished training some soldiers before riding a horse and then chopping down a tree. Every single one of those images of Osric flits through my mind, making butterflies skitter through my stomach. I wonder if he does chop wood. Maybe I could be near a window to watch.
I was like, yes, that is the best description of a man ever.
Yeah.
I love it. I have a perfect vision in my
chop
mind.
wood for me while I watch from the window.
Yeah. Did you ever see those TikToks where it's just guys chopping wood?
I don't have that on my algorithm.
I think like COVID years, I remember. I mean, it's probably 100% still a thing. But just, so many people I would talk to, they're like, have you seen the chopping wood? I'm like, right? And it's just all these hot guys, and they're just chopping wood, getting so many views. So I'm here for it. I also like how he refers to her as Risabel at one point. Mm-hmm. He's like, Risabel, I fucking love you. Yes, Risabel, I fucking love you.
Wonderful.
Just, yeah, love him.
She does have that moment where she's a little bit in denial. She kind of tells him, like, you don't have to feel guilt for what happened. Obviously, you're here because you feel like you should have been protecting me, blah, 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 and that I'll be out of your hair.
Yeah.
So she gives this big, long paragraph. And then he says, there were so many fucked up things in that little speech. I don't even know where to start.
I love it.
It's so funny.
Okay, I'm going to read another one. She's like, are you out of your mind? You can't just claim me, I say shrilly. I just did. My back stiffens. I am an independent woman. I decide who to be with. You'll decide to be with me. My teeth grind, you cocky son of a bitch. And yours. Mine? I love their back and forth. And how he's just very much like, yep, this is a thing now, and we are in love.
Which, I mean... let's not do any of this in the outside world. This feels wrong, but in this book, it feels so right.
Well, yeah, because we know all the other stuff. Like, she even says when she first wakes up something like, she's like, he's already almost like read a book that I haven't been there for.
Yeah.
And he's waiting for me to catch up because he's been through all this.
Yeah, he's like, we're in love, we're together now.
Yeah, I had to sit by your bedside while you were almost on, like, yeah, so it's...
Luckily, he's reading the room right, and Risa actually likes him. So.
Yeah, like that he knows. He's like, oh no, this is... I mean, she did give all the signals before. She's like, I'm going to stay...
She?
Well, not maybe all. She? Like, you knew she was interested.
I think it's just luck that his gut feeling was correct.
Yeah, because she was like, oh, I'm going to stay instead. But yeah, this is just like full... Nope, we are... He pretty much proposes. Now. His last name is Ferox.
Yes.
Which is fantastic.
Right? Should we just need something on a mug, on a shirt, on all types of items that says Mrs. Ferox.
Oh my god, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Someone, please. And then just send it to us. That would also be great.
Okay, do you have anything to say about this sex scene?
I feel like so many things from a Raven Kennedy sex scene where there's just so many layers to it where it's like, yeah, this is great. But then it's also vulnerable and so much happening with her. And it's like the first time she's really experiencing like intimacy. And
Right, there's so many things.
yeah, and how he's like, she's so set because she's so used to performing. And like right away, like, how do you want me? Like this and this. He's like, no, like we're not doing that. And
Like,
says
I
that to
wrote
her.
down sex versus intimacy,
Yeah.
which she highlights like, I haven't had intimacy before.
Yeah. Well, she even says, I want you to make love to me, something I've never done before.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, calls her out when he's like, I want it however you want it. And then she fakes an orgasm. Right away, he's like, nope.
So uncomfortable.
Yeah, like, oh, okay. And then, yeah, the spanking part.
Yeah, I just wrote weird spanking, question mark. I was a
Yeah.
little bit uncomfortable in that situation. It was another one of those situations where, like, Ozark is taking control and all of that, but I'm just like, Ozark, maybe take it down a notch.
Just because you're
Don't
having an
start-
actual serious conversation about something at the same time.
Don't,
That's the only reason.
don't just start spanking. That's weird.
Well, I mean, I feel like you're into it. Cool.
But he doesn't know that.
Yeah. Well, she does mention that he could feel that she was into it.
No, she was into it. It's just like, I feel like he has a lot of luck here where she ends up being into it.
He's
you
like,
know
I don't
what mean?
yeah. No, yes. But I also just think, like, because of the conversation, I don't know. It's also very reminiscent. This does happen in Outlander in one of the first couple seasons.
Oh.
Where he...
Spanking?
Yeah. But it's more... I don't know. But that's just, like, it reminded me of that. So anyone that's watched Outlander, you'll
If
know what
anyone
I'm
likes
talking
spanking.
about. Yeah.
But I just think this whole scene where she goes through this part of like having to adjust to not performing.
Yeah.
I'm going to do the things that make you turned on versus actually tapping into what she wants because she's never had to do that. It's like it's a big change for her.
Yeah.
And it's really uncomfortable and it's awkward and it's maybe embarrassing and it's... So I really like how Raven Kennedy highlighted all of that.
Mm-hmm.
Because again, like you probably talked about with these sex scenes that Raven Kennedy does, it's not just we're so turned on and we're gonna have hot sex and that's the end of the scene.
Yeah, and it's gonna be so
There's
great
other
and
relational stuff woven in. So
Yeah.
it's hot and then it's also we're learning things about ourselves here.
Yeah. Well, yeah, especially just and him having to say like you don't have to do that. Like you're almost like
Yeah.
having little interludes, so it's not like this perfect, beautiful sex scene.
Exactly.
Yeah, and
It's not perfect at all.
Yeah, and it's also still him very like being like your pleasure is important. Like you don't need to do those things. Like I want, like I love you. I want you to experience these things. I don't.
I give a shit about what...
Yeah, I give a shit about what you're feeling and what your needs are, and
Yeah.
so it's just a whole new space for her. But I loved it, and I loved how he immediately like would call her out on
Yeah.
it and just be like, "No, like we're not."
But really lovingly,
Yes,
other than the spanking.
yes. Other than spanking. Okay, so Auren.
Okay, let's talk Auren.
Um,
And I just pointed out to Jamie in my notes that the spot where I will spoil her because I went over my chapters. So she's going to try not to spoil herself. We do get her POV of waking up with the thing in her head.
Which
And
it just sounds so awful.
yeah, so to watch that scene unfold where Luda was killed, they're caught and betrayed. She doesn't know anyone. She doesn't know herself, and she doesn't know who these people are. And she's just getting context clues, but really awful. I did think that this was a classic trope, and not just in romantasy, but romance of amnesia.
Oh yeah,
If you think about it, like amnesia happens a lot. Like, who am I? And then I have to get to know people as I'm trying to put together the clues and
yeah.
whatever. Obviously, this is not the same thing.
No, but then it also shows like what a strong mind she has.
Yeah,
Which I
this
think
sort
also
of
kind of usually
amnesia type
happens.
thing is way better.
Yeah.
But it just made me laugh because any amnesia type of romance book or movie, it does give me a lot of anxiety and I don't like it. I just don't like it. I just
fair.
can't imagine. I wouldn't want to be in that situation, and it doesn't make me want to watch you fall in love. The exception is While You Were Sleeping. The movie
Yeah.
While You Were Sleeping with Sandra Bullock. And if you have not watched that, We have already recommended. I think we recommended this at the very beginning of our podcast because
Bill Pullman.
we cast Bill Pullman. Who do we cast Bill Pullman as?
The dad.
Feyre's dad. You casted Bill Pullman as Feyre's dad. But I know this is not relevant to this book, but I'm in love with Bill Pullman and a little bit Sandra Bullock. So
I think Bullock.
Bullock?
Yeah, Sandra Bullock.
Bullock. Anyway, that's my exception, but I don't like it.
Yeah.
It gives me anxiety, but I'm going to go with it, Auren, because I feel like she's going to come out of it.
Same, like you can...
It's not going to be like the rest of the book, right? We need to conclude the book. Things need to happen. So I know that it's going to end fairly quickly.
Yes, and she's already fighting against it, and they're like, she's not taking to it like a normal person would. I think obviously she does have that now bond with Slade, and that's going to make a huge difference.
Yes.
I love she's just like the green of the window and how it like reminds her of his eyes. I'm like, oh, so romantic.
Yep.
But it just really sounds awful. Like she's just to be like so confused and like just be like, I'm supposed to be doing something, or kind of latching on and not being able to hold on to specific things like that.
Yeah, there was something I was supposed to do. She kept repeating that.
Yeah.
Okay, I did write, this is funny now that we had the conversation about Stanton, because I wrote, I really hope that this isn't a redemption arc, because I feel like it's too late for that. Because it does seem like he's helping her in a way that... Yeah, convincing the king not to kill her.
Yeah.
So I really like your theory way better, because I was confused. I was like, this can't be a redemption arc.
Right? I was like, why is he helping her? What's happening?
Yeah, okay, it makes more sense when you're right.
I mean, but maybe... We'll find out, but I don't think so.
It. We got a Malina redemption arc through like 5 books. I don't think Raymond Kennedy is going to throw it in on the end.
I kind of, which I think we talked about before, is like maybe there's like a little part of him.
Well, there's always complexity with these characters.
Yeah,
right? There might be a little piece where we do go, okay, I see how Stanton got there. Yeah, but I don't think we're going to end up on his side.
No, same.
Let's talk about Una. She's got a cool style.
Yes, she does.
We don't like her.
Nope,
but
do not
got
like her.
Style.
But, yeah, I agree.
She's got hair that's growing in blocks, symmetrical squares like a chessboard. Mm-hmm. Oh, tan skin, which now I might have to change my casting. I forgot about that part. Her skin is freckled with blue. What?
Oh,
that's so cool.
I forgot that part.
And then the eyebrows that are flat lines, and then her eyes that have blue stripes that go down the irises.
She's a cool look going on.
Really cool.
But you suck at the same time.
And I guess in these chapters, just Auren's resistance is the best.
Yes. And then Emily comes in, and that's so sad. So they figure, since Auren's not taking to Una's magic, they use Emily to look like her to now use Emily in that way. But she does sneak her a ring. That. Oh, yeah.
Do you know? I reread Auren with the ring, and I was like, "Where did she get that ring?"
I had to go back and look. It said something that Emily pressed something, because then I was like, at first I was like, did Slade's dad give her that? Because he had said something to her about still being broken. I was like, there's no way he did that. So I had to go back, and I guess she had felt her press something into her hand, and I think it was part of the earring that she would always wear from her ear that got cut off. So that obviously triggered something in her, which I think she was trying to do.
And I don't blame Emily, right? She's obviously doing it, or I can assume she's performing as Auren for them so they don't kill Auren.
Yeah, because he does, he breaks her wrist or something on her hand, breaks it in front of Emily to be like, this is what's going to happen if you don't do it.
Right.
So I get that. And then I'm like, also, is Una in the same position? We don't know.
Yeah, that's true. Well, because we do the backstory before of how King Carrick, that he recruits all the people that have magic left in Anwin.
Yeah.
Not everybody has magic anymore, so that all those people go to the castle and the king can use for his own uses. So yeah, that is a really good point. That maybe that's why Una was recruited and that she feels like she has to. But we'll see. We'll see if there's any redemption arc for her too.
Mm-hmm. So then Auren tries to escape. I mean, she tries real hard, does good, but she does fail.
Una, in one point, was really frustrated with her because she's using so much power, where she basically says someone else would be brain dead by this point for the amount of power that I've used on her, and it still doesn't work, and she's still not compliant, and Auren still has this feeling inside her, the things that Una is saying, that it's just not right.
Yes.
I just don't believe her. I feel like it's a lie, and I just don't trust her.
Mm-hmm.
So that's really interesting.
And then I do also like how she's very sure of, like, her name.
Well, no, Una makes her repeat it. Because he's trying to get her to repeat, I'm Auren Turley, and I'm blah, blah, like,
yes,
to get her to
but
do the script.
how she's going back, she's like, I don't know what's truth and I don't know what's a lie.
But I know that part.
But I know that I am Auren Turley. Like, that's the one thing that she is for sure on. And I just like that she's like, okay, that I know. And it's almost like you can hold on to be like, okay, I know that is one thing that's true.
And the chapter ends with, my name is Auren Turley and I am stronger than the dark. Right? Or is that in the chapter that I read? That shouldn't be in there.
No, that does happen in that chapter, but this one ends kind of after the escape. And then she sees the rot in her gold and kind of plays back how the guard said to her, I hope you fucking rot in there.
And then that... Yeah.
And then she's like, rot. This is rot. I'm not sure exactly how I know this, but I do. I watch as the liquid gold and black lines soak back beneath my skin, fading away. I sit down on the floor staring at the moldy bread, and my mind starts to spin with the sprout of an idea. And that idea, rooted in rot, starts to bloom.
I wish we did that extra chapter. Because I want to talk about that chapter.
I'm so sorry.
Okay, well, we'll start with that next time. We'll start with it next time.
Cast and go. Cast and go. And Una.
Una is who we have today.
Yeah, just Una.
This is a first. With the Plated Prisoner series, we always have like 4 or 5.
Yeah.
We're always introduced to new people, but we just have Una this time.
I know, it's weird.
That's okay.
Yeah. Well, I have one that I want to discuss after, but...
A recast. We haven't done any recast for Gold, have we? I don't think so.
I don't think so either. Okay, so my Una, she's from, well, I know her from the Umbrella Academy. Ritu Arya. I don't know if I'm saying her name.
Oh, I really like that. She has the perfect look for that.
Right?
For sure.
I was excited. And I really, yeah, I think...
Okay, I think you might win this one.
Oh, perfect. Love when I win.
I love winning. Tell me I'm a winner.
Yes.
My Una that I thought of was Hunter Schafer.
Oh, okay.
You seem underwhelmed.
No, I like Hunter Schafer. She's
Okay.
great, but...
My other person that I more pictured was Willow Smith.
Jesus.
And I just get people stuck in my head, okay?
That's fair, yeah.
But then Hunter Schafer is who I thought of when I put more thought into it. But then I read the description today and I was like, oh, tan skin. And then I'm just like, I'm off.
Yeah, she's very light.
I'm off with my...
I do like her as a casting, though. I think that, like, that wouldn't be bad,
like,
but I just like mine better.
Yeah, no, I like yours better, too. Okay, give us your recast.
Okay. So
Why is this funny?
It's funny.
It better be good.
Because every time, like, I picture Osric, I was like, he's just, like, a mesh of people.
Uh-oh.
And then I was just like, oh, my God. So my recast is Jason Kelsey.
Oh. No, that's perfect.
Right? It's like watching something with him, I'm like, oh, my God, he could totally be Osric.
That's a perfect Osric.
Right?
He's not an actor, but we'll make him an actor.
Yeah. He has the tree trunk thighs.
Mm-hmm.
And just, like, the bearded, like, look. And he's, like, just the physical part. And he's, like, funny. And I'm like, I feel like he could be an Osric. And
I'm
I
on board.
think he's not, like, too pretty. Yeah, so I was like, oh, my God, you're 100%
Yeah, he's
Osric.
not, like, classically, like...
Like, the Jason Momoa, like, totally, like, get
like,
that.
Jason Momoa is very model-esque, even though he's rough around the edges.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I was like, oh, my God, yes. Like, Jason Kelsey.
I would even say his brother. You can tell I'm a football fan.
Travis. I mean, it's just if you're also Taylor Swift. That's why I know who they are.
Yeah. And
I feel like, yeah, him or... But I like more Jason. I feel like Jason's more of an Osric.
Okay.
I watch clips of their podcast all the time just because they're hilarious. And I feel like...
Jason's better.
Jason, yeah.
Team Jason.
Yeah, he's my favorite brother. And he's more
Jason.
the Osric
For
vibes.
sure.
Yeah.
No, I totally agree with that. And just for your knowledge, in our A Quarter Mist and Fury, I did cast Taylor Swift. If you're all wondering if we ever have cast Taylor Swift, we have.
Yes, we have.
I did cast her as someone.
Mm-hmm.
And it was one of my favorite castings.
Yeah,
so you'll have to
very
go back
unexpected.
and listen. It was unexpected?
I was not expecting you to say Taylor Swift.
But you agreed it was a good one.
Yes, it was a good one.
Okay. Let's do MVP.
MVP.
I'm gonna say Argo.
Okay, that's who I had.
I wanted to say it first to get ahead of you. Argo.
Seriously, I can't believe she's not even mentioning Argo.
That man is Argo. I'm assuming Argo's male, just because Argo feels like a male name. So my man Argo, he has been doing the work. He has been doing his job and doing overtime and extra hours, pushing his body to the limit.
He just came back from death.
He just has been through recovery, and now he's going through this journey where he has to carry this very, I imagine, very, very heavy, fey, monstrous man.
Yeah.
Who threw the skies while keeping him on somehow,
catching
and
him at one point
to his back as a how did he do that?
I don't know. And then listens to him when he's dying that he needs to get to her, and starts bringing him towards Seventh Kingdom. Finds a cave for them.
Yeah.
Keeps him warm underneath. Like, just
so smart.
I will also riot if he dies. Just FYI.
Yes.
Yeah, I will be very upset.
Do you have an alternative?
Osric.
Why?
It's Osric.
I mean, I think we've all yourself.
Do I need to explain it's Osric? No, I just I think it's easy. I think maybe just the two of them in general, which I think is really similar to when Slade and Auren had this kind of pinnacle scene as well.
Yeah.
The vulnerability and everything. I just like that he didn't, in such a vulnerable moment, he could have just kind of made it easy and let her do those things, but he was like, no, we're not doing this. This isn't called her out on it, in a loving way. I think just, still being you're the most important. And just how he got the house for the girls. I was like, well,
he's a good man. He's a good man.
But Argo takes it for me.
I almost want to give it also to Osric and Risa and give them a couple name.
Oh.
Osrisa.
Osbell?
Osbell. That's good.
I like that.
That's good. Or Risric? No.
Osbell.
Osbell should get an MVP.
Yeah.
Because both of them did wonderful in those chapters.
Yeah. And just their banter is
top notch.
So
I did feel similar vibes to the Slade and the Auren.
Yeah.
Sort of scene. It was 2.0 for me, so there's lots of similarities, but
These two are more blunt and rough, though.
But it was their vibe. It was different. Yeah. Well, that is it.
Yay.
We are, I don't think we said this in the beginning. We're breaking down Goldfinch into 4 parts.
Yes.
And then we're going to do a finale episode. So that's the plan.
I will cry the entire time.
And if you haven't already, because we always leave it to the end because we always forget, but if you want to follow along on social media, on Instagram, on TikTok, we are there trying to do our best and post pictures of the drinks that we make and the recipes, and follow along with us. If you are listening on places, give us a comment, give us 5 stars, because it's actually very, very helpful.
Super helpful for us. And
yes.
Very appreciated.
We are very grateful.
Yes.
Okay, toodaloo!
Goodbye.